Do you remember when they first told you? That word, potential. It tasted sweet, didn't it? Like a promise. But it wasn't a promise. It was a debt. You were the gifted one, the one who understood the assignment. You learned early that love was conditional, that safety was something you had to purchase, with grades, with accolades, with compliance. You perfected the art of jumping through hoops. But look at you now. You're tired. Not the good kind of tired that comes after a day of honest labor. You are exhausted in your soul, and you feel like a fraud. You're waiting for the tap on the shoulder, the exposure. You think you have imposter syndrome. That's the clinical term, right? A personal failing, a glitch in your brain. But what if your anxiety isn't a malfunction? What if it's a signal? You don't feel like an imposter because you're weak. You feel like an imposter because the game is rigged. Let us examine the contract. The Credentialist deal. It was sold to us in whispered tones by guidance counselors and anxious parents. It said, sacrifice your youth, and the system will grant you tenure. Secure the degree. Accumulate the debt. Delay gratification. Do this, and you will be safe. You will be worthy. We treated the educational system as a ladder. We assumed that merit was the currency of the realm. But the university was never a ladder. It was a sorting mechanism, a filter, designed not to cultivate wisdom, but to identify obedience. They didn't want your mind. They wanted your capacity to endure boredom. And here lies the betrayal. You held up your end of the bargain. You took on the loans. You worked the unpaid internships. You optimized your resume until it bled. And the market responded with silence, or worse, gig work, instability, the realization that your merit has a shelf life. This is the source of your burnout. It is not a lack of resilience. It is a moral injury. You are grieving the death of a worldview. You were told that if you worked hard, you would win. But you look around, and you see the winners, and very few of them are sweating. The system didn't fail. It is working exactly as intended. And you were the fuel. To understand why you feel this crushing weight, we must step back from your specific life and look at the machinery of the culture itself. We need to dismantle the engine that drives this anxiety. For this, we turn to the political philosopher Michael Sandel and his seminal work, The Tyranny of Merit. Sandel presents us with a terrifying proposition. He suggests that the ideal of meritocracy, the very thing we are taught to worship as the highest form of fairness, is actually a corrosive force that tears the social fabric apart. The Rhetoric of Rising. Think about how often you have heard this phrase. You can make it if you try. It sounds inspiring. It sounds like hope. But Sandel asks us to listen closer to the silent B-side of that record. If it is true that you can make it if you try, then it must logically follow that if you did not make it, you simply did not try hard enough. This is the trap. In an aristocracy, if you were born a peasant, your poverty was not your fault. It was your lot in life. You could look at the king and say, "He is not better than me. He is just luckier than me." The system was unfair, but it was honest about its unfairness. It did not judge your soul. But in a meritocracy, we have removed the excuse of luck. By insisting that success is purely a result of talent and effort, we have weaponized inequality. Now, when you look at the winners of society, the technocrats, the financiers, the tenured professors, you are forced to conclude that they are morally superior to you. They are smarter. They are more disciplined. They deserve their place. and consequently, you deserve yours. Meritocracy transforms economic inequality into moral judgment. Sandel identifies two specific spiritual poisons that this system creates. For the winners, it generates hubris. The successful inhale their own exhaust. They come to believe their success is entirely their own doing, ignoring the massive infrastructure of luck, timing, and genetic inheritance that supported them. They look down on those left behind, not with sympathy, but with disdain. This is why the successful often seem so insufferable. They truly believe they are self-made gods. But for the rest of us, for the students drowning in debt, for the underemployed creatives, for the gifted kids who stalled out, the poison is far more deadly. It is humiliation. When you fail in a meritocracy, you cannot blame the gods. You cannot blame the harvest. You can only blame yourself. You internalize the verdict of the market as a verdict on your human worth. You look at your bank account, or your follower count, or your job title, and you see a scorecard of your dignity. This is why the rejection emails hurt so much. They aren't just saying, "We don't have a spot for you." They are whispering, "You are not enough." We have constructed a society where your value as a human being is contingent on your utility to the economy. Let us go deeper into the credentialist arms race. Sandel points out that we have turned our universities into sorting machines. The degree has ceased to be a signifier of education and has become a license to work. It is the new caste system. But unlike the old caste systems, this one is insidious because it forces you to participate in your own oppression. You spend years fighting to get into the right schools. You mortgage your future to pay for the privilege. You study things you do not care about to impress people you do not like. And if you stumble, if you drop out, the shame is absolute. The system has convinced you that your inability to thrive in a hyper-capitalist hellscape is a defect in your character. Consider the cult of smartness. We value cognitive ability above all other human traits. We value the ability to take tests, to synthesize data, to navigate bureaucracy. But are these the only measures of a good life? What about courage, kindness, solidarity, craftsmanship? The meritocratic machine assigns a market value of 0 to these things unless they can be monetized. And so you, the rogue scholar, the artist, the thinker, you feel worthless because the market does not bid on your soul. You have been gaslit into believing that if you are not optimizing yourself, you are decaying. You are treating yourself like a product on a shelf that no one is buying. This is the violence of the system. It is not physical violence. It is psychological violence. It strips you of your narrative. It tells you that your struggle is not a tragedy, but a statistic. It isolates you. It prevents you from joining hands with others who are struggling because you are too busy competing with them. Sandel argues that we must abandon this worship of merit. We must recognize that making it is largely a matter of luck and circumstance. We must understand that the market is not a moral judge. The fact that a hedge fund manager makes 1,000 times more than a nurse does not mean he is 1,000 times more valuable to the human species. It just means he is better at extracting capital. So when you sit there at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling, wondering where you went wrong, I want you to apply this philosophical lens. I want you to see the invisible strings. Your anxiety is not a symptom of your inadequacy. It is a symptom of your humanity reacting to an inhuman demand. You were promised that if you jumped through the hoops, you would be happy. You jumped. You are not happy. The flaw is not in your legs. The flaw is in the hoop. The ladder was never meant to be climbed. It was meant to keep you looking up, so you wouldn't see the cage. So where does this leave us? If the game is rigged, do we simply stop playing? No, we still have to eat. We still have to survive in the economy. But we can change how we play. We must move from failure to disenchantment. Disenchantment sounds negative, but it is actually a liberation. It means the spell has been broken. You see the machine for what it is. You can work hard because you take pride in your craft, not because you are terrified of your own irrelevance. You can pursue excellence because it feels good to be competent, not because you need a gold star to prove you are allowed to breathe. This is the reframe. Your market value is a number. It fluctuates. It is arbitrary. Your human dignity is an axiom. It is fixed. It is non-negotiable. Stop asking the system to validate you. The system cannot love you. It is an algorithm. Reclaim your definition of success. Maybe success isn't the corner office. Maybe success is a quiet evening. Maybe it is the capacity to be a good friend. Maybe it is the refusal to be a commodity. You are not a resume. You are a consciousness witnessing the universe. That is enough. There is a difference between earning a living and justifying your existence. You will likely spend the rest of your life doing the former. But never, ever let them trick you into thinking you need to do the latter. You do not need to earn your place on this earth. You are already here. Now, close the laptop, go outside, and waste some time. It's the only thing that's truly yours.